So we got some really good news yesterday. Dr. Jordan Peterson put out a video announcing that, the book he's been working on is complete and it's ready for print in, I do believe it's early March of 2021, and it's going to be called 12 More Rules for Life Beyond Mere Order. We've known about this for a little while. Anybody who's been familiar with his work prior to him becoming ill and, well, dropping out of public life for, 2 years now? Jeez, I can't believe it's been that long. Yeah, so that was very much appreciated. It's definitely going to be useful just to get a clear insight of what the hell is going on, because all of his former IDW intellectual dark web brethren have kind of scattered towards the edges of the earth, and some of them have stared into the abyss and haven't come back. Looking at you, Sam Harris. And right after that announcement, you guessed it, fucking Penguin Random House staff confront publisher about new Jordan Peterson book. It's not even out, and they're already trying to cancel him. Can't say I'm shocked, but based on all of the other censorship things that have been happening here today, and it's a sign of things to come, and I hate it all. But this one just especially sucks because 12 Rules for Life, man, that is such a important and fundamental book, you know? It really just lays things out there in a very readable, very digestible format, and I think everybody should take the time to read the first book. It's been out in circulation for, a couple of years now, and it's been wildly successful, and New York Times wouldn't put it on the bestseller list because I forget what their justification for it was, but it's been one of the best-selling books since it's been pressed, but that's neither here nor there. Hopefully this one, makes it out. Maybe Random House decides that they're just going to cuck to these fucking psychopaths. And I still think that we're going to get the information out there. And I would like it in book form because reading every day is very important. And censoring ideas, even if you don't agree with them, is just despicable practice. And only one side of the aisle fucking does it. Prove me wrong. But let's go through this AIDS piece from Vice, who is known for doing a very deceptive interview with Jordan Peterson back in the day. It was at his house, it was with a little Asian reporter, and it was edited to shit. And it had to, the full-length interview was released by somebody else behind the scenes who was disgusted with the way that it was edited. Yeah, they aren't exactly the people who should be reporting on this, but this is just kind of super late-breaking news anyways, so let's see what we got here. During a tense town hall, staff cried, they're adults, by the way, and expressed dismay with the publisher giant's decision to publish Beyond Order 12 More Rules for Life. Should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. Oh, just the thought of this. I forget what all the different slanderous terminology that they use for Dr. Peterson. It's been a minute, but it doesn't make it any less absurd. Several Penguin Random House Canada employees confronted management about the company's decision to publish a new book by controversial Canadian psychologist Jordan Peterson, Dr. Jordan Peterson to you, at an emotional town hall Monday. And dozens more have filed anonymous complaints, according to 4 workers who spoke to Vice World News. And because this is specifically Random House Canada, I will go ahead and set the odds at 75% that they aren't going to publish this one. I know my country better than you, and I know that it's full of cucks everywhere. On Monday, Penguin Random House Canada, Canada's largest book publisher and subsidiary of Penguin Random House, wow, thank you, Vice, you guys do some fucking great work, announced it will be publishing Beyond Order 12 More Rules for Life by Dr. Jordan Peterson, to be released in March 2021. It's like I could do a better job for them. The book will be published by Portfolio in the US and Penguin Press in the UK, both part of the Penguin Random House empire. No shit. 4 Penguin Random House Canada employees did not want to be named due to concerns over their employment. Why? It's just you and your friends who work at the fucking publishing factory. Or publishing house. They want us all to work in factories, by the way. That harkens back to that old thing where, all those gender studies graduates or all of those kids that just go to university and they, don't study fuck all for 2, 4, 6 years, and then they'll just eventually get out of university and then they'll figure out that that's not how the real world works. But that was a gross underestimation of what they were capable of, because when there was so many of them that were coming out, everybody kind of failed to realize that they would group up and start taking over different institutions. So, yes, we reap what we sow. said the company held a town hall about the book Monday, during which executives defended the decision to publish Peterson, while employees cited their concerns about platforming somebody who is popular in far-right circles. It must be fun to be a leftist. I'm just thinking this out loud because you can just go ahead and make these baseless accusations and then they just stick forever. Peterson, everybody else who's ever, come to his defense has constantly made the case that how do you quantify him being popular in far-right circles? Nobody in far-right circles agrees with them. What they're talking about are those mythical white nationalists who disavow him vehemently. But you can continue to make these heinous accusations and never face any repercussions. You can just continue to slander people and you'll just keep moving up the chain of command because eventually your business will continue to get more people who think like you. Simple as that. He's an icon of hate speech and transphobia. Hilarious. And that fact that he's an icon of white supremacy. Regardless of the content of his book, I'm not proud to work for a company that publishes him. Then get the fuck out. A junior employee who is a member of the LGBTQ community who attended the town hall told Vice World News. And there you go. Identitarian who doesn't want to take any responsibility. Guess what? You don't have to read the book. Nobody's going to be holding it up to your face. Nobody's going to be making you read those words. Nobody's going to have to make you face reality because clearly you can just continue to segregate yourself so you're the most oppressed person in whatever room you're in. But these are the people who are going to have all the power. Are we lucky? Another employee said, people were crying in the meeting about how Jordan Peterson has affected their lives. Depending on the different framing of that, I've seen and I've also heard tales of people crying because they've done good things about them repairing their lives and repairing their relationships with their friends and family. So the fact that a bunch of hysterical lefties decided that, platforming a guy who's all about personal responsibility and Judeo-Christian values is upsetting to you kind of tells you that maybe you're on the wrong side. Just a thought. Said one coworker, discussed how Peterson had radicalized their father and another. How so? By telling you to clean up your room? Or always having lobster on Friday? Who's talked about how publishing the book will negatively affect their non-binary friend. It's always under the guise, this is what these idiots like to do. Oh, it's my friend. Oh, I'm looking after my friend. See, it's more or less the root problem is always going to be collectivism, okay? At the root of all of this shit is looking after your own stupid little group and not taking a look or taking responsibility for the most important group, the individual. And that is the fundamental difference between anybody who's on the left or on the right, or you're a populist or you're an establishment figure. It's really the idea of trying to save the entire world, but not understanding that boundaries are very important. Do you invite every homeless person that you meet to come and live with you because you don't want to see homelessness anymore, that you want to eradicate world hunger so you spend all of your time feeding everybody? Well, that might be virtuous in your opinion. It is also a foolish endeavor because some people are going to be homeless regardless of the situations you help them out with. You give them a home, they'll end up ripping cupboards out of the walls just so they can set up a bonfire in the middle of their room, because crazy people do crazy things regardless of the means you give them or take away from them. But enough on that tangent, let's go back to this liquid cancer. The company since June has been doing all these anti-racist and allyship things that have been and then publishing Peterson's book completely goes against this. Well, that's good. It just shows you that those intersectionality principles are full of shit. It just makes all of those previous efforts seem completely performative, the employee added. Oh yes, and then it goes on to slander Peterson as being, wildly popular and quite successful, and just giving you reasons to hate him. If you are a constant reader of Vice, that's how you would interpret it. Otherwise, I look at that and it was like, that is very impressive. Here was a guy who worked very, very hard in relative anonymity outside of, a couple of public TV spots in a small public access Ontario television station, and then, rose to wild popularity based on, standing up for his opinions. You guys remember the stories of Bill C-16 in 2016, I do believe? Yeah. And for that 2-year period, all the way up until late 2018, is that how long he's been around? Yeah, being a worldwide name, pretty much. And I look at that as inspirational, and somebody can rise from that level of notoriety to a wild success. But yeah, here's where we'll join back in on this. The Penguin Random House Canada employee said the company was very secretive about releasing Peterson's new book, I Wonder Why. One said the title didn't appear on an internal database that normally includes all future books, probably because they knew of the fucking unhinged behavior of their employees. I wonder if they should consider, reneging on all of these intersectionality, diversity training courses. I wonder why they would have to keep this shit secret. I feel it was deliberately hidden and dropped on us once it was too late to change course. Exactly, said the junior employee who's ugh. The employee said workers would have otherwise considered a walkout. Yes, all four of you noisy psychopaths. I don't like it, therefore nobody else gets to like it. But I guess when you work somebody up to be so evil and so hated in their head that by any means necessary, if you think somebody is as bad as a certain dictator, that it would be justified in taking these actions. This type of radicalization only happens on one side, people. The employee said, would have considered a walkout, similar to when publisher announced it would be publishing Woody Allen's memoir, Hatchet, later dropped the book. Yeah, it still got published, and Woody Allen's a pedophile, so interesting turn of events. In the email viewed by Vice News, Kristen Cochrane, Chief Executive Officer of Penguin Random House Canada, invited staff to discuss the announcement with Ann Collins, publisher of the Knopf Random House Canada Publishing Group, the imprint under which Peterson's book will be published. How we think about our publishing and the range of books and authors we publish is an evolving process and part of an ever-changing conversation. Just corporate horseshit. And one I'm eager to have in a bigger way with all of you, I'm sure. This is undoubtedly going to be the biggest, if not the biggest book, one of the biggest books of 2021. And yeah, when you see it just happening over a book about, well, for all intents and purposes, it's a self-help book, and to see this kind of unhinged behavior just happening here, oh boy, it's going to be a long old 4 years if shit doesn't fucking miraculously happen. But beware of that. And personally, however this information comes out, if it ends up being in book form, which I most certainly think it will somewhere, but like I said, I don't necessarily put a lot of stock in the Canadian publishing world or any type of Canadian media if you aren't spitting all your woke horseshit. But yeah, guys, if you're a fan of Dr. Jordan Peterson, I think the book's already out for pre-order, and I'll consider doing that probably after the holidays. But definitely going to be getting my copy because, I've read the first one a fair few times and listened to it as well. So it is definitely one book that will change your life if you haven't read it, and is imperative if you would like to help others as well as yourself. So both a little good news and a little bad news on this one. But overall, just kind of a little bit of foreshadowing of what we can expect for what's going to happen when the keys to the castle get handed over to the other side. Because it's looking like a little bit of a long bomb for the Trumpster. But hey, it's all about looking after you and the ones you love anyway. So I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.